Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to read from Luke chapter 6, verses 43 to 45. And it says, "No good tree bears bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruit. Each tree is recognized by its own fruit. People do not pick figs from thorn bushes. A good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, and an evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. For the mouth speaks what the heart is full of." And so something that I initially think of is in Romans when Paul says, people declare with their tongue, but they won't go to heaven. And so after knowing that information, what should be our first question? Well, my first question is, what do you bear? What fruit do I bear? And so if you look at a non-Jesus follower, he's probably not bearing the right fruit all the time or at all. And so then you go into your each day life. Well, maybe it's I get mad too easy, or I shut people out too easy. And so what kind of fruit are you bearing to the people around you that you can't trust them, that you don't love them to the full extent that you can? And so then when you have that, that's what's actually in your heart. So you have so many people declare with their mouth, yeah, I follow Jesus, but I'm not going to do this. Yeah, I follow Jesus, but I don't read the Bible. And so another thing that I wanted to point out with this was, can you have a plant that you don't water? Can you have an animal that you don't feed? Well, the answer is no. And so when you think about it like that, what kind of fruit are you bearing? Can people tell you Can people tell that you're a Jesus follower? And that has been such a big thing in my life. Probably in the last 6 months, I think I heard it for the first time. And I was like, wow. Like, do people see me and say, he loves Jesus, he's a kind guy, but he's kind of crazy? Or like something of that nature. Or do they say, he claims he does this, but he's not that great of a person? And so then that leads to your next question. Who's in your inner circle? Who are the people that are closest to you? Are they also God-fearing people? Because if you think you get planted into a garden next to other people who don't follow Jesus, you're going to end up just like them. You're going to end up bearing their fruit when it touches your fruit. And so who are you surrounding around you? But the ultimate thing comes down to you and your relationship with Christ. If you're in your word every day, you're in prayer every day, I am not saying that you will never have doubt with your faith. What I am saying is that you're going to be fed. You're spiritually fed. And so that your plant, your tree is going to grow and bear good fruit. And the reason that is because you're learning every day. You're getting closer to God. And when you're getting closer, you become more like Jesus. When you're more like Jesus, you're able to bear better fruit for the people around you who could actually get to know and love Christ. But when you bear bad fruit and you claim that you bear bad or good fruit, you're hurting everybody around you. And so I don't know if that's anyone watching this video, but if it is, I encourage you to repent, come back to God, and say, Lord, I want to do this right. So I want to leave this off on this note, is that today, take one or two things that you feel you should be obedient with God and work them into your everyday life for 21 days. And just continue to do that every single day. Create a habit out of it. That habit might be waking up, praying, and then going to talk to somebody and tell them that, hey, your smile is beautiful. Hey, you have beautiful eyes. And just keep walking. And then as you go, you're going to start bearing good fruit. It's in here where it all comes from. So when you hear people have loud mouths, you hear people just kind of disrespectful, to be honest, that's when you know that they're not bearing good fruit, that in their heart is evil. And so as Jesus follower again, we're called to pray for them. And then that's another step of, that's how you know you're bearing good fruit, is when you can pray for the enemy. God bless everybody. I hope your day is going well, and I hope this has helped you as much as it helps me on a day-to-day basis of understanding what kind of fruit do I bear. So the only question to ask is, what kind of fruit do you bear?